Hello there. So I'm going to share in this particular video some updates regarding the Karen Reed civil case. The process of discovery is ongoing. Currently, there's a bunch of subpoenas being sent out, and what it could mean for those agencies in being able to prove some of the corruption that many people believe that they have done. For example, Karen Reed doesn't even have her car back, doesn't even have her phone back. And what that means when she gets her car back and when she gets her phone back. Shouldn't be any surprise that the DA's office is not giving over 3 cell phones and her car. So they've gone to court, her civil attorneys have, demanding that the court order ADA Adam Lally and DA's office to give back her property. She has been acquitted. So this is the copy of the motion. It was filed July 28th, even though, I'm going to show you something. This is as of today, August 3rd. The last thing filed, according to the court record that's public, was July 9th. Now, it may just be that they haven't updated their docket yet. Now, this is Norfolk Superior Court, okay, that they're filing this in. But as far as all the subpoenas and other things that they're filing, usually when you get a subpoena, you do go through the court clerk, but they may not have updated that on the civil case court record, or they may not have that part public. But anyways, it says that now comes Miss Reed, moves according to Superior Court Rule 61 to give her back her stuff. Anywho, they attempted to negotiate the return of the listed property with ADA Adam Lally in late June, as property is in the possession, custody and control of the Massachusetts State Police, and they have not even heard back. Now, here's what could happen when she gets her car back and when she gets her phone back. If you watch the trial, in the first trial, Massachusetts State Police was claiming that her EDR is basically the DNA, if you will, of a car's movements, showed evidence of striking him. And that was one of the strong pieces of evidence they tried to use against her. Although the same trooper who was talking about that on cross-examination, Trooper Guariano, admitted that she was back at John O'Keefe's at 12:36 a.m. because she auto-connected to his Wi-Fi. So it wasn't possible that she could even have been there at 12:45, and most certainly since his Fit app showed that he was last steps was at 12:32 when he locked his phone, took his last steps. It's not possible for her to be back at John O'Keefe's at 12:36 and to have struck him at 12:32. But their timing of when she struck him changed. So let's say she gets her car back, and the EDR data that she will then have control of doesn't say what they said it said. What if she gets her phones back and it shows that they deleted stuff from it? It will show dates that stuff is deleted. So it may be a problem when she gets her stuff back. Maybe it'll show stuff and have evidence to prove. But it's not just that evidence that they're after. They're also after communications about the Birchmore case. And I'm going to show the filing against the officer who it is alleged that he believed that a child that he groomed and statutorily raped ended up being pregnant. At the time, thought that she might be pregnant the time that she died. It was later changed from suicide that no, in fact, she was killed. So there is currently waiting for trial an officer. So Karen Reed's civil attorneys are seeking communications with the DA's office even in the Birchmore case. So it'll be interesting to see what they're going to be allowed to get, what they're going to be able to argue successfully is relevant to her civil case, because they're going to be proving that there's corruption. You know, the civil case is the O'Keefes suing her for wrongful death, still trying to claim that she hit him with the car. She was convicted of, you know, basically driving while exceeding the 0.08 legal limit, but in no way is she convicted of being drunk or driving recklessly or any of that. Just that she had exceeded the legal limit. Nothing that she did caused any harm to anyone, nor was she found guilty of driving recklessly other than being beyond the legal limit. So the subpoenas request records concerning witnesses who testified in her criminal trial. Records. And materials related to the federal investigation of John O'Keefe's death. So and also communications with the DA's office and the federal agencies. Now, the FBI is not going to reveal whether or not they're actively still investigating. They have refused to comment when they were asked after the jury foreman specifically requested that they get involved, search the house, and the infamous house known where Mr. O'Keefe was killed. So if they don't give over what they request, and then it'll be up to the court on whether or not they're going to be forced to comply with the discovery requests, and it will be interesting to see what those arguments are. But by the way, I will be doing a video tomorrow regarding the petition that I started and via email and the petition site, and that goes to the Department of Justice and the FBI at a higher level than the Boston FBI, demanding accountability for various things from the suborning of perjury, from the DAs by impounding the animal bite records of the Albert's dog so that they can lie on the stand and claim there was no history of bite records, and from also not searching that house. They need to search that house. Harassment of the defense witnesses and people who are also just basically supporters there in Canton who have complained that they're being harassed for speaking out against the local corruption, and not necessarily specifically about her case, but were supporters of hers, but they were calling out things about the audit that was done on the local police, and just specific things that were related to that case are receiving egregious harassment from in the areas where local police are living. I did a video on that. So various things are in that petition, and hoping that the Department of Justice will get involved, because while they had an active investigation going on, they had criminally altered evidence that was used in her trial. There was a channel called Video Jesus. She's basically analyzed some of the, I think one video at least, that they used showing the Ring camera, and it was very clearly altered. And so I'm most certain, as many other people are, that they are doing that to other people. So manipulating, altering, falsifying evidence for the purpose to maliciously prosecute somebody or falsely prosecute someone is egregious violations of federal statutes. And we are seeking and will continue to seek until they take that video, acknowledge the work of Abby, that it is accurate analysis, and then prosecute them. So meanwhile, the active case that was filed last August in the United States District Court of Massachusetts, it was a case from the same county that they covered up a crime and a murder of a cop, or it was by a cop. So he was originally indicted for murder, said in his capacity as a Stoughton police officer, Fairwell also served as instructor for the Police Explorers Academy, basically groomed and abused this lady when she was younger, started at the time when she was 12. She ended up, she died as an adult, but it was believed that she was pregnant by him, and it turned out that she wasn't, but he believed that was the motive, that he believed that she was. So when he was supposed to be performing his duty, he was instead engaging in sex acts with Birchmore. He failed to disclose that information to the police department, took steps to conceal his conduct from other department employees, so in 2020 learned that she was pregnant. And Birchmore thought she was pregnant by him, so she told him that he was the father. So in January 2021, if you know the story, basically Birchmore's friend called the PD and told an employee that he had been having sex with her. And so on February 1st, he killed her by strangulation. And they lied and tried to cover it up and say that it was suicide. But as of date right now, no one in the DA's office is being prosecuted. And that's what we're fighting for. So they are prosecuting this cop, though. The grand jury realleges and incorporates by reference the allegations. Okay, so then you have current candidates running for the DA's office in Norfolk County. And this is one of the big things, okay, about basically this cover-up of this cop. But I don't see anybody basically trying to claim that Karen Reed was innocent, just that, there was folly in the prosecution of her case, which is very vague, and I find it problematic that they're not saying that they're going to go in and search that house. To me, it just sounds like not anybody really that's going to do what needs to be done is running. Anywho's, they're just wanting to use their folly as replacing them in the office. So this was filed last year, and this is a death penalty case, and the officer has hired an attorney who specializes in death penalty cases, because apparently the feds have not ruled out death penalty as a consequence for the murder of this young lady. So Karen Reed's team seeking communications between the DA's office and the feds about the Sandra Birchmore case. It will be interesting to see what will be allowed to come out about that, since that is an active case. And the feds don't like to share their investigations, but, well, she's in for another fight for her life in this civil case, so I think she has every right to it. But as it is right now, she hasn't even got her phone back. Or her car. Phones, plural. So it will be very interesting to see when she does. They have to give her car back. They can't just keep her car. It's ridiculous. They're just delaying the inevitable. And the phones, because they know. So she will have possession of that EDR because that's a part of her car. And so we'll see what happens. And her cell phones. If anything was deleted, she'll be able to get the experts to determine that they deleted stuff. And she will be able to have possession of those phones for the first time. And she should have already had those objects. That was part of stuff that she should have been allowed to use in her criminal trial. Anyways, that is the update on the Karen Reed civil case. And again, tomorrow I will be doing a video about the petitions, Department of Justice, and the FBI. Don't give up hope. I will not accept anything like, oh, they're not going to do anything. I'm just like, well, it's our duty to keep fighting for justice. And that is for the Department of Justice and the FBI to go in there and search that house in the name of Jesus and hold the county, not only hold the county accountable, but to investigate any other cases that they may have tampered with evidence. So I hope you have a blessed day. Stay tuned.